Welcome to DS Trucks. If you follow the channel, then you know that we switched our 2020 F450 to AMSOIL full synthetic 0W40 oil for our last oil change. And we are going to be doing a little bit of an update on how the truck is doing on this oil. My thoughts on it so far, I am at like 25% oil life left. I put a couple thousand miles on this oil. Tons of idling, tons of towing, tons of just highway driving. I've been pretty hard on the truck, been pretty hard on the truck since adding this oil. And yeah, I want to talk about how it's performed. So this is the Signature Series 100% synthetic diesel oil, max duty protection, 0W40, 4x better cold temperature performance. So when I put this stuff in, it wasn't that cold out just yet. It was only like, it was kind of in the 60s, whatever. And I was coming from Hot Shot Secret 5W40 PAO, certified PAO, full synthetic oil, going over to the AMSOIL. We did the AMSOIL filter as well as the 0W40. Now, this truck, this 2024 50, it's got about 14,000 miles on it right now. Take that with a grain of salt. The way that I drive, you can pretty much assume that they're not normal miles. It's towing, it's plowing, it's a lot of idling. I go through a lot of oil changes, and at 14,000 miles, I go through these oil changes in like 3,000 miles. Based on the oil life monitor, that's how we run it. So once I put this stuff in, I felt like it was good oil. I mean, the engine sound good. But I will say this. I noticed when it was not really cold, but not really hot, that before the engine got all the way up to operating temperature, in my opinion, it sounded ever so slightly noisy. A little bit, maybe a little bit on the chattery side. But then once it got up to operating temperature, it sounded better. And I do distinctly remember kind of noticing that because like I said, the truck idles a lot. And I was sitting in the truck doing some work. This is my mobile office, essentially. And I was sitting there doing some work on my computer, and there was no music, there wasn't anything. And I'm just doing my work, listening to the engine. It was kind of cold outside, so I had to have the engine running. Wasn't freezing cold, but kind of cool to where, just to be comfortable with heated seats and all that. I had the engine running, and I will say that it sounded a little noisy and it seemed a little not so good. I mean, it wasn't terrible or nothing. It's not like, oh, get this oil out, it's too thin. But I think my theory on this is, being that it's a 0W40, maybe the 0 is too thin unless it's really cold. I could be wrong. And I know the AMSOIL guys out there might disagree, but I think the 0 is not really necessary or beneficial unless you are below freezing all the time. Now that it's gotten cold outside, we've started getting to our 32 degree days. Haven't plugged the truck in at all, anything like that. And I will say, like, the cold starts, they are better. The cold starts are definitely better. But maybe maybe this is a better winter oil. The winter performance is good. I think the summer performance, though, for 0W40, I would say it's just okay. I would say the 540 is most definitely probably better overall for the summer. Not that you can't do it, not that you can't do this in the summer, because according to AMSOIL, this stuff's good all year round. But I would just say, maybe their 5W40 is going to be better. Now, I'm also curious about the AMSOIL 10W30 and how that will perform, because it's still a Signature Series oil and all that stuff. I wonder how their 10W30 full synthetic would perform. Maybe I'll have to wait until it's summer again to run that, because it kind of seems counterintuitive to run a 1030 now in the winter. But it's their Signature Series. AMSOIL can make some dang good oil. So you can't go wrong with AMSOIL. And by the way, if you are looking for a good AMSOIL rep, reach out to my buddy Tom. I'll put his number on the screen. I'll put his number in the description. He's a good place. He's a good source to get your AMSOIL. So without further ado, we all know, if you've been following the channel, that our 2020 F450 has had a bit of an oil consumption thing going since new. And last time we checked the oil, it seemed like it was slowing down quite a bit. But I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to check the oil in a long time, pretty much since it's been added into the truck. So let's go ahead and check this oil. About 25% life on the oil, about 25% life left on the oil monitor. I'm gonna set the camera down and we're gonna pull the stick and see what comes out. All right, let's do this. All right, moment of truth. How much oil was consumed with this AMSOIL 0W40? Is it more oil consumption? Is it less? Let's find out. Here we go, moment of truth. What? Look at that, guys. Look at that. Now, I'm definitely low here. I'm definitely at the add mark. Is it dangerously low? Not really, guys. There's so much oil in this motor. I mean, it holds like 13 or 14 quarts, and it's about a quart low. Is that a lot? I mean, you'd like to see none being consumed, but yeah, I think that honestly the 040 has caused an accelerated consumption compared to the 540 that we've been running. Let's go ahead and stick it in there one more time and pull it out and see. But yeah, we're most certainly burning oil faster. So it makes me wonder, well, I want to say the 10W30, how will that do? Will it be less oil consumption? Is it better? Is there anything wrong here? I don't know. But I will say the 10W30 that comes from the factory was consumed. If that even, I don't know if 10W30 even comes from the factory. For all I know, 5W40 comes out of the factory. I don't know. But whatever came out of the factory did get consumed as well. Kind of similar to how this is low. That's how it was burning oil from the factory for the first couple thousand miles. But I'm telling you guys, after switching to the PAO full synthetic, there was less oil consumption. I think there was less oil consumption. I'll have to refer back to those videos. Maybe I'll link those videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and top this off. I'm not going to be able to tell how much exactly it needs because I got a full gallon here. But I can tell you guys it's probably about a quart. So I'm going to go ahead and just top this barrel off so that it's topped off. And after this oil is done, we are going to do an oil analysis and compare it to the Hot Shot Secrets and see how it's looking. But my prediction is, being that we're adding oil, that it's gonna be fine, because adding oil, actually, that's the one good thing about adding oil. It actually adds some benefit. It adds some life to the oil. Like, I could probably just keep burning this little bit of oil and never change the oil, because you're always sweetening the package. Once you put more oil in there, you add like more base or whatever additives. Just even 1 quart of oil adds additives to your oil. So there's our funnel. Here's our 040. We're gonna add the same stuff. Our 040. I wonder if I just added like the 1040, if that would just thick, or the 1030, and if they would thicken it up at all. But here we go. Just eyeballing a quart-ish. And I'll have to pull the stick out. And check that. Let it settle for a second. And here we go. I pulled it up about halfway, a little less than halfway up the stick. We'll do that again. About the same. So it's, I mean, if you think about it, piston rings and all that, maybe this thinner oil burns a little quicker, but it's not a whole lot when you think of the fact that it's a 6.7 POWERSTROKE that's towing and doing regens and high idling and all kinds of crazy stuff that it does. It sounds like a monster. It's just, as you see in this video, we have the front end of the truck pulled into the garage, and and it just starts high idling with the hood open, and it's like the most intense experience, like a bus engine. Pretty much what it is a bus engine, just running in the inside of a small 500 square foot garage. Pretty cool, pretty cool stuff. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna finish adding this oil here. This is DS Trucks. My name is Sean. Subscribe to the channel if you like PowerStroke content. There's our level now. I think that's about perfect. You know, right there at the top mark. The camera wants to focus here. Right there at the top of the mark. Right about there. Can't get any better than that. And what can I say? We sweetened the package. So anyway, this is DS Trucks. My name is Sean. If you're interested in AMSOIL, whether it's their 0W40, if you're in a real cold climate, I would recommend it. If you're in like Antarctica, or if you're in that, or if you're at the North Pole, I would recommend the 040. But if you are interested in AMSOIL, reach out to Tom Brown. I'll put his information in the description. And yeah, that'll be that. He's a good dude. He knows a lot, and he could set you up. Ask him the question, what do you think? Ask him what he thinks about this, where we're at and what we're doing. But yeah, they've got the 040, they've got the 540. What's cool about AMSOIL is if you want to run the 1030, they've got 1030 in their signature series. That's one of the few diesel oils that have the 1030. If you want to run the 1030, it has the 10W30 in a full synthetic oil. But anyway, that's it for today. This is DS Trucks. See you in the next one. Over and out.